Hi everyone, I'm Emily,
Hey, I'm Amanda.
and we are two moms, one mic, but not a mic today.
We're getting there. This was supposed to release in September, and it's November. So
very on brand for moms to be like this. But it's okay. We're going to get through it, and thanks for tuning in. So I'm a mom of two boys.
I have one boy.
And we were just really sick and tired of everyone lying about motherhood. So here we are. Just wanting to speak our truth, like amongst friends, and hopefully you guys can relate too.
Pampers made it seem like rainbow and sunshines, and I don't see no rainbow and sunshine, so we're going to talk about that for sure.
We're going to talk about all the things that you probably ever thought about, that maybe you went on the anonymous Facebook chats about. We're going to talk about it.
And today, our first topic is pregnancy myths.
Starting right off the beginning.
All right, you find out you're pregnant and you're so excited for that bundle of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, PG-13, your nipples change. None of my friends warned me about my nipples changing. I'm just saying, ladies, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, that happened to me, I promise you, they go back to normal. But nobody told me that these gorilla things were gonna pop up. And yeah, I was not happy about that. Nobody told me that I was going to be taking like 12-hour naps every single day and being exhausted. And it was like having a part-time job being pregnant, because your body is like creating this thing in your first trimester. And you're like, what is happening? What are these signs? What is going on? And it wasn't fun. I did not enjoy it at all. Like, I would smell meat and be heaving.
I swear, like I'll never forget it. It was like in my brain. I was like attempting to make ground beef, and I feel like I could have smelt the cow that it came from. Yeah. At that point, it was bagels and carbs for life. And that's how I gained 80 pounds.
I gained 80 pounds too, actually. Yeah. I gained 80 pounds. And oh, ladies, if you're watching this, the weight does not fall off.
No.
People are like, it just falls off. No.
And I breastfed for a very, very long time.
And I didn't, but it doesn't fall off. So keep that in mind when you decide to gain 80 pounds like we did. I had even an aversion to tap water. I could not, and still to this day, I can't drink tap water anymore, which is so weird.
I had a very hard time brushing my teeth.
Oh, teeth. Yeah. That was my third trimester.
Brushing my teeth was honestly incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I had to get a Brita system. I was like you, I lived on carbs. I was a poutine girly and a slushie, but only 7-Eleven slushies. There's a specific kind that I needed to have.
Did you have like a really crazy craving? Because I feel like they pushed the craving agenda, but I didn't have like I wasn't a pickle girl. I'm not dissing you if you were a pickle girl. That's great for you. I love pickles now. Mind you, I always like pickles, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like, get this pregnant girl a pickle.
No. It's funny because Matt used to always be like, why aren't you eating like pickles and a vanilla ice cream? And I'm like, ew, it doesn't sound good. Like, give me poutine or give me pizza.
Yeah, no, I didn't have weird
I didn't have
cravings
either. I was poutine. I was a poutine girly. I was obsessed. Like, every single day I wanted poutine.
I mean, poutine's good shit. Like,
so.
You can't be Canadian without having poutine.
I thought Anto was gonna be born and like not want meat, but the dude loves chicken, so I'm really happy.
That's good.
He's still like a little healthy, except vegetables, but a little bit healthy. So it's not all about the French fries and nuggets all the time.
That's good. That's good. What else? What else came with pregnancy? Let's talk about pain. I was in a lot of pain. My sciatic decided to give up on me, especially when I was pregnant the second time. I physically couldn't get off the couch. I had to be lifted off the couch because my whole side just gave up.
How far along were you when that happened?
So it happened in my first, but I don't remember when. But my second, it was the whole entire pregnancy, because when I stopped breastfeeding versus how soon I got pregnant after that, everything was still so relaxed from the hormones that are released when you're breastfeeding. So everything was just loose. I was jello. I was just in a lot of pain. And at that point, I was I'm never doing this again. People ask me all the time, when are you having a third? When are you having a third? It's not on my agenda. It's not on my bingo card. I physically could not be pregnant again. I do not enjoy it. I do not like not being able to do things in my body. And as a fitness instructor, it's just, it doesn't
jive with... You were pretty active though in your
I literally taught Zumba till 38 weeks.
Yeah, you were working
and I was dying the entire time.
I didn't even know this about you.
Dying.
I did not know this, that it was this bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I truthfully didn't have pregnancy pains. Maybe like the second trimester was amazing. I was actually in Europe, so I was on a cruise. I was traveling Europe, and like it was amazing. I was good doing it. Like I felt fine. I just couldn't drink, obviously. Water is more expensive than beer in Europe. So I mean, yeah, but I felt fine. I mean, like more so like 38. No, did I make it to 38 weeks? Yeah, I did. 37-ish weeks. Like that's when I was getting induced and stuff. I mean, everyone's pregnancy is different. I know like a friend of mine, her whole pregnancy was high risk. Her placenta was weak, and she was bleeding. I don't want to say her name or anything, but she was bleeding her whole first trimester. And like even for women like every single day you're showing pregnancy, but people don't know what you're also going through behind the scenes. And like like her looking pregnant every single day, like she looked beautiful, she looked great, like you assume everything's going well, but you don't know also what they're going through. And that's something that like a lot of people don't talk about. Everyone just sees like the beauty of pregnancy and not like
you're glowing. It's always the pregnancy glow.
Yeah, and like,
not the pregnancy my brain is fried. Like honestly, I was turning 30 during my first pregnancy, and that was, I don't know, it was like really, really hard for me. Like my husband wanted to like throw me a birthday party, and I was just like, I couldn't wrap my head around it, and I was just like really depressed about it. And he's like, but are we having a party? Are we not having a party? And I was honestly miserable. I was so miserable. And like mentally, like pregnancy takes a huge toll.
Yeah, and like this is the problem I have with like being a new mom, is that like everywhere in society is all rainbows and sunshines around it, and it's not the reality of it. Like it's kind of shit. I'm gonna say it. It's hard. Like no one prepares you. My sister said it the other day. She's like, this is the hardest job I've ever had to do. Like no one prepares you. There's no manual. Like it's not like you could turn the kid off, turn the kid on, and like everyone just sees you and they're always like, oh yeah, you're pregnant. Whereas like me and Emily, we're both the people where it's like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be hard. Like it's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like the me with the pregnancy is I don't like being told no. So the fact that like being pregnant and like you can't drink, you can't eat like cheese, you can't eat cured meats, you can't eat smoked salmon, you can't eat like, and I'm just like,
oh, I did really want smoked salmon. Now you remind me that I really, really wanted smoked salmon.
Like, I actually ate smoked salmon because someone told me it was okay if I froze it first. So I froze it first and I ate it. And yeah, I ate it.
Doesn't smoked salmon always come frozen?
Yeah, it does. So anyways, someone's like, you could eat it. Anyways, I was just like, you know what? Like, who are you to tell me I can't do things? Like, that's what I hated about pregnancy, because I'm the type of person that I like doing anything and everything whenever I want. So it's just, like, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But it's 9 months of sacrifice, realistically, that you're going through and no one else is going through.
I feel like it's like the first indication. Well, not even indication. It's like you start to realize how, I don't know, and maybe this is just me, and maybe this doesn't reflect what other people felt. Like, you just become a vessel for a human, and that's how you become treated. You go to these appointments, they measure you, they listen to the heartbeat, okay, see you in 4 weeks, and then see you in 2 weeks, and then see you in once a week. But, like, how many times did you feel like it was about you?
No, you're right. I never
You know what I mean? Like, I would go to these appointments, and I literally felt like I was just transporting the other person to their doctor's appointment. Because it wasn't my doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
So even, for example, when I was pregnant...
We had the same OB, actually.
Yeah. So, she was a great OB. I know she did work with someone else that I know, and she does deal with, like, mental health and that type of thing. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like unless you're quite the advocate for it, it's not on their agenda to, like, check with your mental well-being first and then go into, like, these physical things. So when I was pregnant the first time, I ended up falling at home sense. I slipped on the floor because it was a rainy day and they didn't mop it up properly. So, right away you're like, oh my God, did I hurt the baby? And blah, blah, blah. So you go to the hospital, and it was kind of like they just had me on those pads. I was there for, like, maybe an hour, and like, okay, like, baby's good, bye. And, like, at that moment, you're like, oh, okay, so we don't care, like, if I'm okay. Like, physically, I fell down, but it was like, no, we still hear our heartbeat, so it's, like, fine. And then, like I said, like the more you go on, the more you go to these appointments, and then even like afterwards. And I know we'll get more into like the postpartum thing, and I don't want to get into it that much, but it just gets reinforced time and time again. It's not about you. You are just the vessel. That's how I see it.
You know, like something that I noticed with society is that when I was pregnant, people treated me like gold. Like I remember being in line at Costco and people were like, "Do you want to go in front of me?"
Oh, yeah, that happened to me.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then right after I gave birth, and again, we still will talk about it later, like me with a stroller, people don't even care about me anymore.
No.
Me with a newborn, when like I actually needed more help, people didn't care. But me as a pregnant person, they were like, "Oh, like move away, like park."
So remember during COVID when you had to like line up outside of stores?
Yeah.
We try not to remember that, but you know. So I was at Food Basics. I was very pregnant, and I'm waiting in line, and people are like, "Oh no, just go in." I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm not like I'm okay. I could stand here. It's not the end of the world. Like, but yeah, like you said, and then
it's like
after when you're juggling the
privilege.
kids, it's like,
No one
oh,
cares
you
about
have
you.
your hands full. Yes, but now you don't want to do anything about it? Like, that's what I don't understand.
No one helps you, like, when you're with the stroller, but they see a pregnant person and everyone, like, holds doors open. Like, I think I was the type of person that I just grab my stuff like this and walk around the store.
Yeah.
I had a guy, like, once offer me his buggy, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I stood in, like, the 12 items or less, just holding stuff. He'd be like, oh, just go. I said, well, I'm good. Like, I've been here.
Yeah. So that was one thing about pregnancy. People treated you really great.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a perk that you should take advantage of for sure.
Third trimester for me, I know you said, like,
I was just, like, swollen. Like I said, my sciatic was just ruined. I mean, to this day, my sciatic's still ruined. Yeah. And you're just, like, done. You're just done.
Third trimester I find was a little bit worse than the first trimester. One of my friends is currently in her third trimester, and even her, she's really struggling. I started getting morning and night sickness again because of like everything being squished. Yeah, I was sick. Brushing my teeth, that was like a struggle in my third trimester. I know you said
Yeah, for sure.
And bathroom. Oh my God, I had to pee like every 15 minutes. Like, I used to walk my dog around the block, and I couldn't make it around the block.
You should have peed with him.
I was like running home, waddling home, whatever, just to like use the bathroom. But that,
okay, so did you do any of like those what's it called, like wives' tales to get him out sooner?
So what are the wives' tales?
So like curb walking, eating dates, drinking that tea.
So I didn't do any of that. I went to go see a physiotherapist, and I was doing acupuncture.
So with my second, because he ended up being late, that point, like, and I was just very done during my second pregnancy. I did the acupuncture, the curb walking, walking.
Did anything work?
No.
You got induced, right?
I got induced. So
I did
so I was bouncing on the freaking balls.
Oh yeah. So I actually went early. I went early with Acto because 2 weeks before his due date, I developed high blood pressure, and my doctor's like, do you want to go on blood pressure pills or do you want to be induced early? And I'm like, I'm not going on pills, just induce me early.
Yeah.
So I had like 3 days of being induced, which again, like talking about like the labor part of like getting there, everyone's experience is different.
Yeah.
So like I can tell, like me personally, like I think I had a great labor. How about you?
Yeah, mine were honestly really good.
Yeah. And then like
sorry.
Yeah.
We want to relate to you on this, but
like, everyone's different.
But we understand that there are very traumatic births out there, so we're not negating that at all. But mine were very good.
My friend, she had to be cut right open. Anepisiotomy. Did I say it right? From hole to hole. She had to be cut open, jaws of life to take her kid out. So like,
I know women go through a lot.
So like that's big, right? And
yet that's still the easier part than having the actual child.
There's even like a friend of mine had an emergency C-section.
Yeah, those I know a lot of that.
But again, like we can't talk about active labor because everyone's is different. I had a good
But if anyone out there has had a traumatic birth experience that they want to share, or even if you want to just like message us privately, I mean, we're obviously open to talk to anyone. But yeah, honestly, my first one came on his due date.
Oh, nice.
Which is like, apparently, if you have a registry in the States at Bye Bye Baby and your baby comes on their due date, the registry's free.
Ooh.
Yeah, so.
That's pretty good. We don't have Bye Bye
Yeah,
Baby
we don't
anymore.
have it even here anymore.
What do we
so.
have here now? Toys R Us?
Babies R Us.
That's it.
And Amazon.
Oh, and West Coast Kids. But personally, I don't like their return policy. Sorry. I know.
But also, they're incredibly expensive for nothing.
Yeah. Everything's expensive for babies for nothing.
Yeah, so it was like, maybe like 2 a.m. The contraction started. Went to the hospital around like 6 a.m. And literally by like 7 o'clock that night, he was born. I like pushed for 30 minutes. And this is why you should work out during pregnancy. I will advocate for that. If there's one thing that you can do during pregnancy, work out. And I'm not saying you gotta like do CrossFit.
They say you recover.
But honestly,
I can't comment. I didn't work out.
No, it really helped. It did. I'm not gonna lie. And then my second one, like I said, he got induced. So I had a time that I went in.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be, I think, like 11. They told me to like go in at like 10. And then by like 4 in the afternoon, he was born. And that one I only pushed for 10 minutes.
So I was like 3 days of getting induced with Anto.
I've heard that a lot. Like when I was having my second one, a lot of people I knew were having babies that week. And yeah, like they were all getting induced. And yeah, it was like 3 days.
Yeah, so I went in on a Friday, which was my birthday. And I was actually hoping he came on my birthday because it would have been cute. But anyways, that's okay. We don't have to share a date. And they like put gel on a string. I'm going to like, because people are probably curious, gel on a string, and they put it in me and they're like, this is going to like make your cervix expand. So that was day 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I go back the next day. They're like, oh, you moved like half a centimeter. Keep it in longer.
Sick.
Come back tonight. That night, I was like in so much pain. I felt like a whale. I felt like a bowling ball was hanging out of me. And I'm like, I'm going to have a baby tonight. No, I go back. They're like, oh, you're 1 centimeter. I'm only 1 centimeter. So then they put something else in me. I don't know what. I can't remember.
Was it the balloon or another?
No, the balloon was the next day. And if you ever have to experience the balloon, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So they put something else and they're like, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be like my 3rd time here. Like, can I stay here tomorrow? And this is Sunday now. And they're like, yeah, we're going to let you stay. So they go and put the balloon. And what it is they like put a balloon in you and inflate it in you.
Oh my God.
But you're not on anything. You're not on anything. I was lying there shaking, just saying, help me, I'm in so much pain. I ended up on all 4s because that was the most comfortable position.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so painful. And they're like, okay, get up, we're going to transfer you. And I'm like, but I have a balloon in me. And they're like, yeah, you could walk with it.
Now she's inflatable and pregnant.
I'm walking with it, and it's the string of the balloon handle is taped to my leg. And I'm walking with it, it just falls out. I have a balloon taped to my leg.
Oh my God, you're like the movie It. You're Pennywise.
Anyways, so it was just brutal in that sense. That was the most brutal part. And then once I was 4 centimeters, they actually gave me the epidural because they didn't want me to feel pain because of having high blood pressure. So I didn't feel a single contraction. So I can't even tell you what a contraction feels like. I went to bed that night. At 6 a.m. they woke me up. They're like, you're 10 centimeters. I said, that's good. I went back to bed till 9 a.m. Yeah, I went back to bed till 9 a.m. The doctor came in and said, like, what are you doing? You were 10 centimeters 3 hours ago. So like, wake up. Like, you got to give birth.
Imagine having to be reminded that you're there for a job that you're not even doing. Like, imagine.
So, yeah, I was exhausted. I didn't want to do it, obviously, because I woke up. They gave me Antonio. I even remember my reaction when I saw him, and I feel like this we'll talk about more next time, but I was like, you're so cute. And I'm like, take him, I want to go to bed.
It's exhausting. It's really exhausting.
Like, I was like, you're so cute, I love you. Okay, someone here. I want to go back to sleep.
I know.
I remember that was like my reaction when I saw him.
Yeah. A lot of people are very iffy about the epidural.
Like, did you get it?
Give me the drugs. I'm full of the drugs. Because a lot of people, I've heard horror stories, you know, you get the shakes, you get the chills, or it slows down labor. Honestly, the epidural in both my situations sped up labor. I literally went from like, let's say 2 to 3 centimeters dilator to like right to 10 in a very short amount of time, which was kind of annoying because it's like, oh, I feel good. No, you have to push now. Well, no, I finally feel good. I don't want to push now. Like, I want to enjoy this a little bit. So in both, like, I don't know. but what did happen actually after my first pregnancy, my leg was numb for months. I had no feeling in my leg. And I spoke to my doctor. The hospital reached out to me, and everyone was kind of like, "Yeah, it'll go away." And I was like, "But will it?" And I was like, I literally could have like stabbed my leg, and I wouldn't have known.
I'm a little baby, so like there was no way that I wasn't getting the epidural.
Oh no,
like,
I know.
That wasn't. The lady came in and she's like, "Are you gonna be?" I'm like, "Give me all the drugs," and she's like, "Oh, a lot of people are like iffy about it." I said, "No, we're not superheroes."
Did you have a birth plan?
I don't know. No, just get the kid out.
You didn't have like a vague idea of like, you know, if everything kind of like aligned the way you wanted it, like this is what you wanted to do?
Honest, no, I don't know. When I was going to see a pelvic specialist just before giving birth. She was like teaching me how to like, she was helping stretch me so I wouldn't rip. I highly recommend that if anyone can go see a pelvic specialist. And she was like telling me how to breathe, telling me different positions. She's like, make sure you advocate for yourself while you're in active labor, but like you don't do that. I'm sorry. Like maybe I don't know, as a first time mom in active labor, you're just kind of listening to what everyone's like telling you to do. And like I had one nurse holding one leg. Like someone's like, hold your leg up. I'm like, bro, this leg weighs like 1,000 pounds because your bottom half's dead. And it's like, you want me to push a baby and hold my leg at the same time? Like you hold my leg. And literally I'm like to the nurse, hold my leg. And then I had like Matt holding my other leg, and and I don't know, it was a little bit of a blur.
Yeah.
And then the baby just came.
I feel like with my second one, because like I already went through it, so my second one I was like, yes, like, you know, you do the research and you're like, this is what I want to do. Like, you know, when the contractions start, I don't like take a shower to like calm down. And then I was hearing that if you like sat on a toilet backwards, like it would help with like dilation. Well, no, because I got induced.
Oh yeah.
So like my entire plan just went to shit. So I didn't even get to utilize my plan. So it was like, when I did have like a really good plan that I was like super excited for, it was like, well, couldn't do any of it. But the second time I did bring all essential oils with me to help me breathe. So I feel like that was kind of
a plan.
My own touch on my birth plan. I don't know. I would be like, hey, give me more oils, and I'd rub them on and I'd inhale them. And
you know what? Like I respect people that like go above and beyond to create a birth plan, but like at the same time, like whatever happens. Like, just get the kid out of me. That's my attitude. Like,
well, and that's the thing.
Like
you said,
make sure
everything.
Make sure I'm safe and make sure this baby's safe. Like, that's, to me, like, that's what it is. Like, I don't know.
I also was big on the delayed cord clamping.
Oh, really? This is a thing? See, I don't think I did enough research on, like, things. So why is this a thing?
I can't fully remember right now, but pretty much it's just, like, if they delay it, it's just better
for the kid.
For the baby. Everyone can Google it. But you know what, though? Like, a lot of hospitals are aware of it. So I think, like, a lot of times I don't even have to tell them.
Maybe they did delay it.
They literally, like, my second one was at Cordalucci. The first one was at Humber. But, like, for the second one, they literally gave me, like, a piece of paper and was, like, just yes or no things to kind of make a quick plan. Like, just let them know what you wanted. And delayed cord clamping was on it. And I was like, yes.
Oh, I can't even. Yeah. I did get a sheet of paper, but I can't remember, like, what it said. So that was something that I wanted to do.
When
should I go into this? When Antonio was born with his head and stuff.
Like, we're already here.
You know, like when you guys, we're gonna talk about the newborn phase. No, maybe we should save it for the next episode. Maybe we should end here. Next episode, newborn phase.
Is this part of it? Oh yeah, I guess because
this is pregnancy myths and stuff.
So that's our take on pregnancy.
Just like that. Just mom's making a decision. All right, party's over. Time to go, kids.
That's it.
All right, we're 2 moms, 1 mic, no mic today. And hopefully we see you next time.
Hope you enjoyed.